Today, I bought some video games. I'm very excited about these video games. Excited enough to devote the vlog to it because they are, they're pretty spectacular. A few days ago, my local game store, Player's Choice, if you're ever in the Myrtle Beach area, you have to go to Player's Choice if you're into video games because they have everything and they're awesome. They told me that they had someone come in and trade in a bunch of Genesis stuff and some rarer, more valuable stuff that I may be interested in. And they gave me a few titles and I was interested. And then there was one specific title which I was interested in, but I also knew that it was probably going to be really, really pricey. But I went in today to the store. I actually had a bunch of trade-in stuff which helped bring the price down a good bit. And I talked to them, we negotiated the price, and I managed to get this game. Super excited. So I actually get a few things, and I'm excited about all this, and the one at the very end is the one I'm most excited about. First up, Gunstar Heroes. This is the game that I went into the store to absolutely get. This is the one I definitely wanted. If you're not familiar with Gunstar Heroes, it's a platformer. It can be played co-op. It's a lot like Metal Slug. It's like a two-player shoot 'em up. Not a shoot 'em up, but a platforming shooting game. You understand what I'm saying? This is actually one of the better games for Genesis. Whenever you're looking at like top 10 games on Genesis, this is always going to be on the list. It was very, very well made, very, very well done, and this one's complete. And one of the reasons I wanted this game so badly is because I saw it complete probably about 7 years ago, and I passed on that deal. I was like, you know what, I'll see it again. You know, it'll come up again. Well, it did. But it took 7 years, so it was really exciting to see that this had finally come back into the store, and you know, after 7 years, I finally did get a complete version, and one that is mint. That's one thing about it. The person that brought in all these games, all the stuff's in perfect condition, which is really exciting. The next game this person brought in that I was pretty excited about is Contra. This is Contra Hardcore, and this is a Contra game that a lot of people either don't know about or forget exists. When people think Contra, they think of the NES game. They think of Contra there, they might think of some of the Super Nintendo Contra titles. A lot of people forget that Hardcore is a game, and this is a game that's had an interesting price history because the price history has been kind of up and down. It's finally starting to fall a little bit, which is good for me today since it wasn't quite as expensive as I had thought previous. Once again, this is also complete, and also apparently a very, very good game. Now, one game that I did not know they had, and I found out exists today, is football. This is John Madden Football, and you might be saying, Steven, you bought a sports game. True, but hear me out. This is John Madden Football Championship Edition, and the thing that makes this special is that it was a rental store exclusive. This is not the only rental store exclusive video game, but this is the only one that I know of on Genesis. There may be more, and if there are, tell me. I'd like to know what they are. This was a game that you could rent from like a Blockbuster, and you could only rent from a Blockbuster. It was not available to purchase otherwise, at least that I know of. I had never seen this before. I talked to the people at the store, they had never seen it before, and I decided that, you know, even though I don't buy sports games, maybe it would be in my best interest to actually pick this up. Now, there are some other games that have been Blockbuster exclusives over the years. Daikatana, which was released on several platforms, but the N64 version was a Blockbuster exclusive. Probably the most famous one is Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut for the N64. Only available at a Blockbuster, never sold outside of that. Getting a hold of that cart, difficult. Getting a hold of the cart, the manual, and the box, godlike. If you can get a complete Sculptor's Cut, you have a lot of money on your hands. And then finally, the thing that I was most excited about, which when I went into the store, I wasn't really sure if I was going to leave with, M.U.S.H.A. This is the Metallic Uniframe Super Hybrid Armor. M.U.S.H.A. This is a shoot 'em up game, which is apparently very well received. It's apparently a very fun game, but also not a whole lot of copies were made, and it's very valuable and very rare and very hard to find. Now, fortunately, if you're interested in playing this game, they did re-release it on the Wii Virtual Console a few years ago, so you can play it without having to buy a ridiculously expensive game. But apparently, it's a very, very good game, and it is complete, and it's beautiful. And it was one of those things like, these are the types of things that you don't expect to find in game stores. These are the types of games, the very expensive games that you really feel like you're going to find on eBay. That's the only place you're going to find something like this. But it came into the store, and I was fortunately able to grab it. Now, I admittedly spent a pretty good amount of money today, more money than I thought I was going to spend when I woke up. But I did get, I mean, for one, I got it cheaper because I had a good bit of trade-in stuff, which was nice. But then also the store really cut me a break on this stuff, which was really, really nice. So I wound up with 4 extremely amazing Genesis games today. And made me start to think, maybe we should focus more on Genesis. Those who have been watching for a little while will know that we finished our N64 collection earlier this year. We have collected every loose cart for the N64 that was released in the US. And people ever since then have been asking, well, what's your next console? What are you going to go for? You're going to try and finish this or that or that? And we haven't been focusing on any one thing. We collect everything, essentially. If we see, you know, a good deal here, a good deal there, we grab stuff. But I have to wonder, maybe we should focus on Genesis. I like Genesis a lot. One of the reasons I like Genesis so much is that they come in these cases. Not all the games, but most of the games have these hard VHS-like cases, like you would get from a rental store. And I've always really liked that because it makes finding complete games easier. On Super Nintendo, we don't collect complete. On NES, Super Nintendo, or N64, and the reason is that cardboard is so expensive. People threw away the cardboard. They kept the cart, some of them kept the manual, but a lot of people threw away that cardboard, and now that cardboard is outrageously expensive. Genesis games, in comparison, a lot of people kept the entire thing because it was this convenient little case for the game. So it's easier to find, and as a result, it makes a lot of the Genesis games a little bit cheaper, and that's nice. So we'll never try and get like the boxes for Super Nintendo or the boxes for N64, but I try to get complete Genesis games whenever I can. But yeah, maybe we'll start focusing on that. I don't know. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. It's been a while since we did a haul video, but I guess we are doing one now that, you know, is pretty major since we got some really, really nice Genesis games. I always like to take these videos and ask what you found recently. It could be just a deal on something recent, maybe a PS4 game that you had a coupon for at Target, or it could be something retro. Maybe you were at a garage sale and you found this, you know, amazing original NES treasure and it was only $3 or something like that. Those stories are really fun to share, and I'd love if you share them in the comments. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?